Good morning and welcome to my special podcast, Resilience in the Time of Coronavirus. I'm working from home and everyone I connect to is almost working from home, except in some dodgy places. Nevertheless, I am very keen on reaching out to professionals around the world to learn about their experience in remote work and understand how they're coping with the changes. Today's guest, I'm sorry, this is off. Okay, today's guest is Mirna Zerekli. I got it right. Joining me from Switzerland, Mirna is a partner at Kennedy Fitch, a management consulting company and executive search. But prior to that, Mirna, she played different roles in multinational organizations around the world. Mirna, good to have you.
Good morning, Wael. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Mirna, we were talking in the waiting room, right? And we talked before in a different venue. And I understand you're working from home now almost full time. I want to learn about your experience with that.
Yeah, so when I was working in a corporate organization, working from home was a dream because I was traveling, commuting, and when I got the chance to work from home, it was like a relaxed day. Now I do it full time for more than 2 years. It's tricky at the beginning because you need to get the discipline to work from home so that your days don't go to waste, basically. So what I do is I wake up like I'm going to work. I shower, dress, and sit on my computer. I manage my calendar in a very disciplined way. And I make sure that I connect with colleagues every day so that I don't end up working on my own.
Yeah, discipline, definitely. Yeah. Totally agree with you. And I heard some of my guests, they kept repeating the same, that it takes a mindset, it takes discipline and routine that you stick to. Very well. But, keeping motivated is not easy, even during normal circumstances. So how do you keep motivated and, energetic about doing your work on day to day?
So I think my work is a nice mix between talking to people and real hard agenda items and thinking space where I get to write about certain topics or think about certain topics. So the mixture of tasks is really nice and keeps me engaged. But I make sure I also block time to go out for a walk, to talk to colleagues either individually or collectively on a daily or weekly basis. So I put those elements in the calendar all the time. I also enjoy cooking. And working from home is very nice for that because you can take breaks to do parts of the cooking and leave it to stew, so to speak. So I enjoy doing stuff like that. And in the olden days, now not in the Corona times, I actually made time to join clubs and attend lectures and meet people through that. Nowadays, it's all at home, so we're trying something virtual.
Yeah, a virtual world, but multitasking as you are. So I could see that you have your hands full, which is great. Keeping
Yes.
that sort of, variety of things that you do throughout the day is definitely motivating. But connecting with customers, connecting with colleagues or your team, now is the time that you leverage technology. So you must be using some tools to keep that pace and, all the time. So what kind of tools do you use?
I use Calendly to synchronize my calendar so that people can book time to talk to me. I use video tools like Zoom and Whereby. I use them all the time. And we use apps like Trello and Teams so that we can work together and facilitate workshops online. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you're used to it, it's difficult to go back to paper and book and flip charts.
Yeah, for sure. And we do also have whiteboards, platforms where even in Zoom itself, they do have a whiteboard where you can connect and present and just, sketch around and connect to people, which is wonderful. And having to use number of platforms, is really beneficial given the remote work and the circumstances. The other thing that I wanted to speak to you about, and perhaps we talked about it before, that companies were not ready for that. It happened all over, overnight. and being ready is not an easy thing. So what do you think organizations can do for them to get ready for anything in the future of that, similar kind of impact?
We've seen many disruptions in industries like telecoms and stuff like that, and it forced them to rethink what they do, what they produce. I think this is the disruption of the way of working everywhere. And I don't want to sound pessimistic. I am rather optimistic about that, but I don't think we will work the same way as we used to. And I think most companies will need to invest in the employee experience using virtual tools and finding different ways to connect and build relationships virtually. So I think the disruption may be anticipated or not. We will have a lot of disruptions that maybe we have not anticipated to that scale, but maintaining close contact with people and keeping the hand on the pulse, if you will, whether they're customers or employees, is the key. And having the right experiences facilitated through that. So being creative on how to do that and thinking about different ways to engage in this space is the key to survival in the future.
Certainly, I agree with you. And I guess we're heading towards a total shift of mindset in terms of the way we do business, the way we work, and so on. And at legislation level, at technology level, at policies level, at HR level, at every level we may think about. So comes the time when we'll say the time before coronavirus and the time after coronavirus. Mirna, thank you so much for sharing your insights. It was such a wonderful opportunity to hear, from you. And I look forward to having you in my next broadcast as well.
Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you.